When Kim and Ray J's explicit tape got leaked, it launched Kim and her family into stardom. But then everything came crashing down when Ray J made some really serious accusations about what actually happened. And you'll never believe what he said. Back in 2007, Kim and Ray J's adult tape, if you know what I mean, got leaked. This was something that the Kardashians pretty openly discussed on their old show, Keeping Up with the Kardashians. For the longest time, it seemed like this was a thing of the past. But then when the first season of the Kardashians aired, it was brought up again. During the first episode of the show, we got to see Kim crying because she was really upset. She claimed that allegedly Ray J's manager was threatening her. He allegedly said he was going to release a second tape from that time she and Ray J were in Cabo on vacation. Kim said that she was pretty sure there actually wasn't a second tape, but she still seemed really worried. Eventually, the whole situation got resolved. Supposedly, Kanye managed to retrieve the laptop that had the footage on it, so everyone thought that storyline was over. But it wasn't, because Ray J had a lot to say about it. He got pretty upset about the storyline and messaged Kim about it immediately. Ray J actually shared some screenshots of their conversation. In those, he accused Kim of playing games, and he said that they planned it all together and that they had an agreement. Kim kept saying that this was all on Ray J's manager and not her, but they made up eventually, and again, it looked like this thing might be over. But then something huge happened that really upset Ray J. Kris recently went on the Late Late Show with James Corden, and one of the things she did on the show was a lie detector test. One of the questions she was asked was if she helped Kim release the tape. This was actually one of the things that Ray J claimed happened. He said that he and Kim agreed on filming and then releasing the tape together. It had never been leaked because they wanted it to be released. He said that the whole thing was actually a lie that was created by Kim and Kris, and that it was the biggest lie in the history of entertainment. Ray J also said that he was the one who suggested it in the first place. After Paris Hilton and Rick Solomon's tape got out, he saw how successful that made Paris, and that's when he came up with the plan. Once he shared it with Kim, she was on board pretty quickly. He, Kim, and Kris apparently planned the whole thing together. This is obviously really different from what Kim has been saying about this. She always said that she never wanted the video to come out, but now Ray J is saying something completely different. It's hard to say who's in the right here, honestly. They both have very different stories, and the whole thing is just super weird. Ray J actually said that even though he and Kim allegedly planned the whole thing, he had come to regret it. He said it damaged his reputation since he was publicly blamed for the whole thing. So when Kris was recently asked if she helped Kim release the tape, things got pretty crazy really quickly. After James Corden asked the question, Kris said no. She claimed that she didn't help Kim release the tape. And according to the polygraph, she wasn't lying. She was telling the truth. Kris seemed pretty happy about that result. She said that she was glad this got cleared up, but not everyone was happy about this. Ray J got really upset when this clip came out, and he made some pretty wild claims about Kim and Kris. He went on his Instagram and said that they were both lying. Ray J said that the lie detector test was fake and that the examiner, Josh Gorgan, was allegedly not an actual polygraph examiner and that he was supposedly a fraud. And then Ray J said some even more bizarre things. He actually claimed that he and Kim filmed more than one explicit tape, and that allegedly Kris watched them all and then decided which one made Kim look the best, and that was the one that was leaked. Ray J was clearly extremely upset about this whole thing. He said that he would take Kris and Kim to court for being foul and trying to defame him. But probably the craziest thing he did was when he showed everyone what was allegedly the original contract for the tape. Now, I don't know if this thing was real. It's obviously hard to say, but the contract he showed said that both he and Kim would get $400,000 each for the tape, which is obviously a lot of money. But that's not even the most important thing here, because if the contract was real, then that would mean that Ray J has been telling the truth and that Kim and Kris have been lying. But again, I have no idea if it's actually real. Ray J actually said he would use this contract as evidence in court. Someone actually pointed out that the handwriting that Ray J showed to everyone was pretty similar to Kim's handwriting. This obviously doesn't mean that it's definitely real. A thing like this could easily be faked, but I just think it's kind of interesting. It does seem like there could potentially be some truth to what Ray J has been saying. Then again, there is one thing that really makes me question the credibility of his entire claim. The original tape was filmed 5 years before it was released. If the whole thing was actually planned by Kim and Kris, then why would they wait that long to release it? That just wouldn't make any sense whatsoever. If it really was just a business deal, then why keep it a secret for years? That's really the one thing that makes me think that what Ray J has been saying might not be true at all. It's honestly so difficult to say though, because both sides have been giving us completely different stories, and I could kind of see both of them being right, which they obviously can't be, so I just have no idea who's been telling the truth and who's been lying here. As of right now, Kim and Kris haven't actually defended themselves or spoken about Ray J's claims at all, which to be honest doesn't really surprise me. I think what they're probably doing is waiting until the 3rd season of The Kardashians to actually talk about it. Kourtney said that they were already filming for season 3, even though season 2 hasn't even aired yet. And knowing the Kardashians, they'll definitely want to address this on the show. I mean, it would make for a really interesting storyline, especially if Ray J is actually taking them to court. I honestly can't wait to hear what they have to say. I hope we eventually get to find out what really happened. I don't know if this will be on the show or possibly even in court, but hopefully we find out at some point, because this story is honestly super insane and everyone's been saying completely different things. On the one hand, I can definitely see Kris orchestrating something like that, and the handwriting in that contract did look similar to Kim's, but then again, I still don't think they would have waited 5 years if the whole thing had been planned from the beginning. Like I said, I just have no idea what the real story is, but I would love to hear from you guys. What do you think? Who do you think is telling the truth here? Let me know in the comments down below.